The first quarter of this year is over and it's the perfect time to reflect on your money progress. 90 days ago, you told yourself that this would be the year you would finally take control of your money matters. But things get busy and we fall back into our old habits. So has anything really changed? If nothing has changed, don't worry. We're going to revamp your finances together. And let's be honest, if nothing changes in the next 90 days, again, it's going to be another year wasted. And I don't want that for you. So in this video, I'm going to give you a 90-day money reset and a simple plan to implement it. I'm also sharing a challenge with you towards the end of the video, which is for you if you're serious about making a change. I will also recognize if you completed it. One of my current students told me something eye-opening. She said she became so overwhelmed by all the things she's told to do with her money, like invest 20% of what you get and plan for how much you need for retirement, which seems like an unattainable amount, then increase your income and pay off debt. All of these things are just too overwhelming, which means that missing one goal leads to a negative spiral and then just completely giving up. And I've been there too. My issue is when something feels too overwhelming, I end up doing nothing because it seems like this unattainable big mountain that I need to get over. Overwhelm in most cases leads to avoidance, not action. So I want to make things less overwhelming for you. It's going to take you 90 days to completely revamp your personal finances for good. And we'll do 9 different things, one new one every 10 days. Get a pen and paper or make a note on your phone and grab your calendar so that you can walk away with a 90-day action plan at the end of this video. I'm going to be breaking down the steps into 3 buckets. We'll start with where you are at, and then we'll look at where you're going. And obviously, we're then going to look at how do you get there, which will be the 3rd bucket. If you're ready to take complete control of your finances, my Money Game Plan program is going to take you through every step you need to take, and it will help you to get rid of the overwhelm you're feeling. It has 17 lessons that breaks down every step that you need to take, easy demo videos and calculators along the way. You can sign up using the link in the description. Let's talk about where are you at. And this is where your first challenge comes in, because I want you to look at what your net worth is. This is an easy one first. Write down or list all of your assets. Do it in an Excel sheet where it can easily be tallied up, or you can just write it down or use your phone. So put down the value of any properties you have, any investments, cash, retirement accounts, cars. Then from that you need to deduct your liabilities, outstanding mortgage, car financing or other debt that you have. So assets minus liabilities would be your net worth. If you are married or in a long-term partnership, then I suggest you do it together with your partner because this is your household net worth. Then even better, record the returns that you earn on all of your assets so that you know what kind of returns are you getting on all of the investment accounts that you have. Then I want you to reflect. Have you done anything to add to your net worth over the last 90 days? And what do you want to change about this over the next 90 days? Write that down. At minimum, you need to track your net worth once a year. Challenge number 2 is probably my least favorite, but I want to encourage you to just please do this once. Take a bank statements for 1 month. Get into the detail. You don't have to do it every month, but at least do it this once. It will take 15 to 20 minutes. And then actually put categories down to all of the amounts that you're spending. Look at the date, the amount, and the category that it's spent in. Like, is it personal care, utilities, discretionary spending, food, etc. Put a category down next to each amount that you spend. Then challenge number 3 is allocating this towards buckets. Look at the amount that you spent and then allocate it either to a needs, a save and invest, or a wants bucket. Those are the 3 main buckets. Then allocate the percentage that you've allocated towards these buckets, and it will give you a pie chart like this. And it will help you identify is your money going towards needs, towards save and invest, or towards wants, and in which ratios. Most people skip step number 3 because it's uncomfortable, but that's really where the change is likely going to happen. But you need to identify where the money is going first in order to know what you would like to change about it. And if you want further help to overcome the uncomfortable parts of your money, or together with your partner, look at your uncomfortable conversations or decisions together, remember to check out my Money Game Plan program. The link is in the description. So now let's look at where are you going, the second bucket. And this gets me to challenge number 4. I want you to spend some time to think about where you're going and what does your life look like in 10 years. Most people never take the time to think about what they're actually trying to achieve by being smart with their money. So the first thing I want you to do is this. Draw yourself in 10 years. Just take a pen and paper and draw yourself. Where are you working? What does your family life look like? What does your financial situation look like? What are your spending habits? Get down to the detail. Do you have pets there? Do you have kids there? Where are you traveling? And get your partner to do the same. I did this the first time during my MBA, and I honestly can't believe I haven't done this sooner in my life, because it really forces you to think about a few things about what you want and potentially what you need to change to get there. Which brings me to challenge number 5, your financial freedom number. What are you working towards? Take your monthly spending in challenge number 3 that we've listed, exclude your mortgage if you're paying off a house, and exclude the amount that you're saving and investing. This will get you to your living costs. Take that amount and times it by 300. That's what you're going to need for a 30-year retirement period to have reasonable certainty that you don't run out of money. So this is a very simplified way to calculate how much you'll need for retirement. I have many videos that actually looks at this in more detail if you want to. But I then want you to reflect on how much progress have you made towards this financial freedom number? How much do you have in your pension and retirement accounts, and how much have you added over the last 90 days? Plus, what's your plan over the next 90 days? I want you to write that down, specifically what you're planning to do to get closer towards your financial freedom number. Then challenge number 6, and this is the last challenge in the where are you going bucket. I want you to look at other should have goals. We usually break down goals between must have, should have, and nice to have goals. Nice to have is like taking a holiday abroad, and must have is like saving up for your retirement. So what other should have goals should you consider? Here I want you to write them down. For example, for me, it's a kids' education fund, and then calculate the amount that you would realistically need for that goal. For this, you need to consider how many years it's away, the inflation rate that the cost is going to grow by over the next 10 or 15 years, and then also what the pre-tax amount is that you need. Because considering that when you eventually reach the target amount, you're going to have to liquidate these investments in order to pay for the education, for example, and you're going to be taxed on that amount. So you need to make sure that you have a sufficient amount after tax. And the last thing to consider here is, depending on the timeline of the goal, make assumptions around the returns that you expect to earn. The further out the goal is, the more risk you can take, and the shorter term the goal is, the less risk you can take. So keep that in mind with your return assumptions. Then write down your monthly commitment for the next 90 days. How much are you going to add into the account that's dedicated to these goals for the next 90 days? So now we're looking at, how do you actually get there? We know where you are in terms of your net worth, your spending, etc. Challenge 1 to 3. Then 4, 5, and 6 looked at where you're going. Now, how do you actually get there? Which is challenge number 7. Look at your bucket breakdown from challenge number 3, which is the wants, needs, and the save and invest percentage breakdown. What percentage do you want to allocate towards your needs, your invest and save bucket, and your wants bucket? For example, if you want to get your invest and save bucket to a minimum of 20% of your income, then calculate what 20% would be. If 20% is 25,000, or if it's 5,000, this is the target amount that you want to reach that goes towards your goals every month, versus what are you currently putting towards that? Then that would be the gap that you need to overcome. For example, if you're currently putting 10,000 towards your invest and save bucket, but according to your 20% calculation, you need to be putting 15,000 towards that bucket. You've got a 5,000 gap that you need to overcome. Then look at your spending from challenge number 2. How can you close that 5,000 gap? What are the things that you can potentially cut out? And I want you to write them down. Now that you know the amount that you want to commit towards future you and your goals, a next step would be to see which of your goals fit into this number, and then prioritize them accordingly. This is because many times we've got too many goals that can't actually fit into the allowance that we allocate towards our future self. But this is just an FYI and actually a next future step that you might want to consider in future. So now the next two challenges, 8 and 9, are the interesting ones that I actually really enjoy talking about. Challenge number 8 is increasing your income. Increasing your income is not just going to happen by chance. You need to test a few things over the next 90 days. And this will obviously depend on your situation. For example, if you are employed, what are the chances of getting a raise? Ask your manager what you need to do in the next 90 days to get an increase and get it in writing. Or start networking for a new job. If you've reached the ceiling, I would start looking around, but I would meet people in person. Get out of your comfort zone. The best jobs are not filled by making cold job applications via email or via LinkedIn. For business owners, I would identify the income drivers in your business, get your branding stronger, start email marketing, run promotions, meet key clients to see how you can serve them better. I've got a few ideas there. And most importantly, regardless of whether you are a business owner or an employee, start building a personal brand. This is for everyone. No one knows what you have to offer if you don't share your expertise with the world. You don't have to be an influencer. You can blog or you can use LinkedIn, but you need to put yourself out there because we're living in a digital world. People are spending their lives online. You need to be present online. And this doesn't mean you have to make dance videos on TikTok. I just want to encourage you to share your unique expertise, your unique experiences and frameworks that you have developed with the world. And you don't have to do it on a YouTube channel. There are many other ways, but start thinking about how you can build a digital presence. Challenge number 9 is all about keeping you accountable. And there are ways that you can get this right. Once you have written down your commitments, you also actually need to track your progress. But getting an accountability buddy is where the secret's at. Research shows you are much more likely to achieve your goals if you have a group holding you accountable. So that means having more than one person is better than just having one buddy. So if you can, get a group together, but at minimum, get one accountability buddy. Share this video with them and ask them to take notes. When you're done and when they're done, share your commitments with each other and ask them to share theirs with you. Have a meeting. It can be a quick coffee or a FaceTime call or a WhatsApp check-in every 10 days to report on what you've done over the last 10 days. If you've stuck to your commitments and completed that week's challenge. Set a tracker to track yourself long term. This is the one that we use in the Money Game Plan program and I complete it every month. Here's your final challenge. I want you to comment one commitment that you're making because of this video in the comment section. That is going to help you feel accountable towards me and I'm going to be checking the commitments that you're making. And if you're commenting something, it's going to inspire someone else to see what you're committing to. And honestly, just putting that down in writing is already going to drive you much more than just thinking about it. So my final thoughts, if you're serious about making your money work for you, you need to start today. Don't wait until next month or next year because you might have already wasted 90 days. I really want you to follow these steps for the next 90 days and your finances will look completely different by the end of it. Please let me know how it goes.